very briefly, if I may.
Yes, sir.
I would say to you, I don't think they get a deal done with Dak Prescott at all.
Whoa.
If I'm
Really?
advising Dak Prescott, well, let me ask you a question, McAfee. You're one of the most. You were one of the highest value free agents in the media business for a while there, right? How'd that work out for you?
Pretty good.
How was it? How was it being an unrestricted free agent where everyone could just throw as much money at you as they possibly wanted to, and you could just sit back and pick where you wanted to go? Well, football, quarterbacks very rarely find themselves in that position, but Dak Prescott is one season away from doing exactly that. If Dak Prescott becomes an unrestricted free agent after this coming season, which there's nothing the Cowboys can do to keep him from becoming that, man, he will be able to choose his spot. He'll be able to choose his salary. Half the teams in the league will offer him $1 trillion, and he can choose where he wants to go. If it's to stay in Dallas, great. If he wants to go someplace else, he'll have an endless variety of options to choose from. Being an unrestricted free agent star quarterback would be one of the rarest commodities that we've seen in pro sports in recent memory. He will make a killing, and if I'm advising Dak Prescott, I wouldn't even think about signing a contract this offseason. Play out the year and then let the world come to my feet, which is what they will, regardless of how he plays this season.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk Cousins just got a $180 million deal, $130 million guaranteed. And to your point, here's what Dak Prescott had to say about it.
But there's also some uncertainty with contracts for guys. Last year for you, last year for some guys, every coach, all that stuff. Does it raise any urgency as you're going into this season?
This is the urgency you should always have, to be honest. So maybe guys who normally wouldn't feel it. So I don't mind it. Been in this position before. I'm a gambling man. Will gamble on myself and my guys. So not actually, guys. I understand. I understand. There's been a lot of shit with that. So.
I mean, obviously had to clear that up, but he said, I'm a gambling man. He's already had a big-time payday. Maybe he is just going to roll the dice on the last year of his contract like Joe Flacco did back with the Baltimore Ravens. He would go on to win a Super Bowl and then become the first $100 million quarterback, I think, and he's still playing. He's going to end up playing for the Indianapolis Colts. We're pulling for you, Dak. We talked about Dak Prescott saying he's a gambling man, but I'm not a gambling man. Mm-hmm. And then Greenberg said if he was Dak, he would play out this entire year and then hit unrestricted free agency because quarterbacks never get to hit that. And once you hit that, boy, there is money out there. If you've had a shred of success, you can make a shit ton of money in the open market. Kirk Cousins, the most recent one, $180 million, $130 million guaranteed. Now they would go on to draft somebody at 8 to potentially be his replacement already before he even takes a snap there, but he got paid ridiculously. He's saying if he was advising Dak Prescott, he wouldn't sign anything. He would try to become a free agent. And as he laid it out, I was thinking to myself, you're probably right there, pretty accurate there, because the market is the market. And if you're a quarterback that has had success, every coaching staff, every front office thinks if they get you in their building, they'll be able to take you to the next step. That is just the how people view stuff. If we had Dak Prescott, we'd do this, and this. This is what they're doing with him. We wouldn't do it. How do you feel about that train of thought from Mike Greenberg? And I don't mind it for Dak Prescott at all.
Yeah, I heard Greeny say it, and it, honestly, like, as you think about it, yeah, it does seem to make sense. It's the valid question by Greeny, but it all depends on how Dak feels about the franchise, doesn't it? Like, if Dak wants to be there and thinks, no, I can win a Super Bowl here in Dallas, I like my teammates, I like the coaches, GM, front office, all that, then of course he would want to sign something if they gave him an offer that he felt like that, was up to what he wants. But I don't know, man. What do you think Dak wants? I guess there may be a chance that he does want to change the scenery and a chance to kind of hit the market and see what other teams think of him.
I wonder if they even have a clue of what the open market could look like. Like, did any of us expect Kirk Cousins to get $180 million or whatever?
No way.
So. Like, did any agent project, okay, Kirk Cousins in the open market, $180 million? No, I don't, right?
No. Off an Achilles?
Yeah, he knew he was going to be, being that it's Kirk, you knew it was going to be,
good deal.
More than what people expected. But, Deshaun Watson, he wasn't an unrestricted free agent, but he was kind of moving and carrying on and having business like he was. And obviously he got 230, nobody's gotten close. So to Greeny's point, he hits that open market with, what's the going rate now, 55 a year? For like the top, like Burrow and Hurts and 53. Lamar, like those guys. So, yeah, he'd probably be around that 60 number, I would think.
Yeah, and the injury thing, Kirk Cousins just tore his Achilles.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
And it happened. So, like, everybody's like, well, you don't want to get hurt. You might lower your value. That's been proven over the last few years. That's not the case. Nope. Like, that is just not. I think Dak even got hurt
that contract.
He
In
did.
Dallas.
That franchise tag.
And
Yeah.
he's still got. It's like that does not matter if you can play football or have played good football at points as a quarterback, and you can still throw the football. There's money out there in abundance for you, which is good time to be a QB no matter who you are.
AJ talked about how he feels about the franchise, and I think this is the second time that they've kind of let him get to this point and not kind of paid him and him not having to have to worry about this. So that's one thing. Do Cowboys fans like Dak? Or do they give Dak a ton of shit? Because that probably goes into it too. He could be like, fuck this place. I've done so much for this place.
I think they do all regular season. They love him. And then when it gets to the playoffs, everyone shits on him and says, like, hey, we need to get rid of this guy.
Well, Stephen Naismith.
People call him that.
I did not know people called him that. That was a great bar this morning. That was obviously awesome. He obviously, throughout the entire season, is a pretty large Dak hater. And when it happens. He does build that narrative. Like, hey, when it matters, he's gonna crumble. Is he building that narrative, or is that the Cowboys fans' narrative that he is echoing? I mean, that's like the full conversation, I guess. And then there is maybe a real fuck this place for I broke my leg out here. I was a 4th-round pick, whatever. I mean, I come in here, do everything I possibly can for this place. They're giving tours around the fucking building in the middle of a practice. Nobody else has to deal with that. Maybe that also is into the sentimental value of it all.
Yeah, I think it's a entire narrative. I mean, that's the narrative I believe in, at least. Like what Brady said. It's like, is he finally going to figure it out this year? I just think that's how people feel.